This video is going to be all about correct score football trading on the Betfair betting exchange. We're going to show you how to trade the correct score market, and we're going to show you how to do it using AI. This is an extended video, so go grab a nice cold beer or a six-pack and let's get into it. Most newbies who attempt correct score trading, they get absolutely destroyed when they try the correct score market, especially those who watch a few videos, think they know what they're doing, and then just dive right into the markets. But the truth is, look, when you're trading the correct score market, especially, you're going to need every advantage that you can get. And so in this video, we're going to be showing you the AI plus XG stack system. And this is going to make trading correct scores a lot easier, a lot more simple. It's going to cut through the randomness, okay? So what is this? What is the AI plus XG stack system? Oh, it sounds complicated. It's not really. AI is our entry intelligence. We're going to use AI to enter the market. It's going to tell us our opening trade, and then we're going to use XG to manage that trade and show us the direction that we're going to be going in. Let me try and give you a visualization of this. We use AI to enter the market. We use AI to give us our opening trade, whether it's on the correct score market, whether it's on the match odds market or the goal markets. We're going to be using AI to do all that research for us. We don't need to do the research ourselves anymore. We can use AI to do it. And then once we've got that, we open the trade. And then once we're in the market, we're going to use XG to guide us. We're going to use the live XG, the momentum, the pressure, the shots on target, etc. Okay, so AI to enter the trade, XG to guide the trade. AI will get you into the trade. XG is what keeps you safe, and then it's the price movement that is going to pay us out as football traders. Let me try and simplify it even more. AI tells us when to enter the trade. XG tells us whether we're still right. Okay, and I think this slide that we're looking at right now, this really helps to make it all click and to make it make sense for us. AI tells us where to enter the trade, and XG is going to tell us whether we're still right. Okay, because we're going to enter the trade with one particular belief, which is going to be based on data. Now, when the match begins, or when the second half begins, or whatever, that is when we've got to see if this match is sticking to our original belief and whether we are still right, whether we still have an edge. If the XG starts to guide us in a different direction, we can obviously pivot and we can adapt our trade as and when needed. So just think about it like that. We use AI to enter the market. We use XG to guide us in the market. And so we're going to get into some real life trading demonstrations of this one. We're going to show you how to use it on the correct score market. And we're going to be using this AI. This is the Football Trading Genie, a football trading assistant, which is designed to analyze and crunch every market for you, including the correct score market. It's fully trained on football trading. It has every football trading strategy known to mankind in its knowledge base. It's a lot smarter than you and I. And within seconds, it will look at the match and it's going to suggest the optimal strategy to use. And as said, it's going to give us our opening strategy into the market. This is how we're going to enter the market using the AI. We're then going to use the XG to guide us. Anyway, let's get into some real life trading demonstrations of this, because once you see the trades, you're going to start to understand it even more. So let's get into that right now. But if you do enjoy the video and you do enjoy this subject, it's very important for you to click the like button to support the channel and to make sure that you get more videos just like this in the future. The YouTube algorithm will deliver more as long as you click the like button. So anyway, let's dive into it right now. The AI plus XG stack. We're going to enter the market with AI. We're going to trade using the XG. Let's go. So we got Wolfsburg against St. Pauli here from the Bundesliga. We're going to trade the correct score market. So we've plugged this match into the Football Trading Genie and pressed the correct score setup. So we've got some interesting thoughts here. But the target score formula is going to be the 1-0, 2-0, 2-1 with a 1-1 and 0-1 plan B in favour of St. Pauli. So
not exactly expecting a wild one. So anyway, let me show you here. We have set this up on the correct score market. We've gone for a Dutch of these scores. So yeah, in effect, it is kind of anticipating it's going to be a low scoring match. Let's see what the over and unders say. So yeah, the unders is being favoured anyway. So yeah, hopefully the genie's going to be right on this one. Anyway, it's going to be interesting. We'll be trading this one. Give you more updates in play. Half time in this one, it's Wolfsburg 1, St. Pauli 1. So with 2 goals in the first half, that's probably not quite ideal for our forecast of a low scoring match. This is how the match odds market looks. More importantly, this is how the correct score market looks. So currently in a red situation, but we're on a green score. So we're on a 1-1. We do have 1-1, and then we do have 2-1. We're up against it because we've lost 2-0. We've lost 1-0 and we've lost the 0-1. So we are really up against it, and it really is. You don't have to ask the big question right now. Do we exit early? So anyway, let's take a look at the data and plugged in these XG numbers. So current projected match result, home win in favour of Wolfsburg. Total goals overdue is 1. And that goal is overdue to Wolfsburg. So the expected correct score should actually be 2-1. So with this in mind, and the fact that we do have green on the 2-1, we will look to put this down to 0 on the 1-1. So we'll just put that in the market. And we'll try and aim to land on that 2-1 during the second half. So let's show you the revised position. 1-1 is now down to 0. If this match finishes 1-1, we'll break even. On the 2-1, we've got more green, which is good news, and that's obviously where we're expecting to go next, according to the data. So if it does, then we'll trade from there, and depending on the time of the match is going to depend on what we can do at that particular chance, at that particular opportunity. The only problem is a 2-1 to St. Pauli. If it goes to 2-1 to them, then that's it. Our trade is dead. But the good news is we've lowered down the risk on this, so we're not going to be losing our full stake or anything like that. So anyway, it's a calculated risk. Let's see what happens. 1-1 at half time. We're at the 70-minute mark in this one. It's still Wolfsburg 1, St. Pauli 1, so nothing has changed there. Just having a look at the data, it's still heavily in favour of Wolfsburg. As we know, the goal is overdue. It's overdue to Wolfsburg. The current projected match result's still on the draw, but with a goal overdue. Now keep in mind, we went down to 0 on the 1-1, so there's nothing really stopping us from... Remember, we entered with a £100 risk, so there's nothing stopping us from going in now. Putting that £100 risk on the 1-1, okay? Because we are expecting a goal. A goal is overdue. We're suspecting it's going to be to Wolfsburg, but if it does go to St. Pauli, then obviously staring down the barrel of the loss. But what we can see from the data is that we're more likely to get a goal than not. So we may as well put some green on the side of St. Pauli, put more green on the side of the expected score, which is the 2-1 to Wolfsburg, and then if there is no further goals, we'll just we'll take it on the chin if that's what happens there. So we're moving the risk around, and we're obviously making a calculated decision in order to do that. So let's see if it pays off. It's Wolfsburg 1, St. Pauli 1. We would like a goal. Let's see what happens. 88 minutes on the clock. We've got the goal. Wolfsburg just taken the lead. That now puts us on that 2-1 with the 2-2-2. It would be now time to exit and collect the profits. Very, very late on. Market's going to be jumping around all over the place. So, yeah, let's get that done and locked in. And just do that again. Okay, so that is all now green. And obviously you saw how that trade played out. You saw obviously the football trading genie gave us the target score formula. Was it obviously 2-1 was one of the scores. When it was 1-1 at half time, well, it was a little bit tricky. It felt like maybe the match was going to run away with us. However, obviously it's evened out in the second half, and we've landed on the 2-1. But you saw how it played out initially. We went down to 0 on the 1-1 at half time, but then we made a decision to pretty much do a delayed lay of laying that 1-1, putting all our liability on the 1-1 because the data was just driving us there towards this 2-1 score. So we've got 181 locked in, and let me show you how the XG looks on this one. So I've updated the numbers. Now let's update the correct score. Obviously everything was flashing green, but we put the score there. that's it. That's the market correction we were looking for, okay? When it was 1-1, remember, the expected correct score was a 2-1. We're on the 2-1. We're expecting another goal to Wolfsburg. We're expecting a home win. We're there right now, so there isn't much more to do, okay? So that trade has played out pretty much textbook, okay? So anyway, we will move on, okay? I think market's gone suspended. Red card? No, I don't know. Anyway, we're out of this one. Wolfsburg 2, St. Pauli 1. So we're going to trade the correct score market on this match with Chelsea against Arsenal. And so we are plugging this in to the football trading genie. We're going to click on the correct score trading and see the target score formula that it's going to give us. And let's take a look and see what it's going to generate. And so here we are. So 0-1, 0-2, 1-2, 1-1 and 2-2. So in favour of Arsenal with some plan B on a 1-1 and a 2-2 sort of situation. So keep in mind, remember, we're trading these scores. We're not aiming for the match to end on these scores. So anyway, let's get set up. And this is how it looks on the correct score market. Now we're all set up. As said, 0-1, 0-2, 1-1, 1-2 and 2-2. So everything's all set up and we're dutching those scores. Let's see how it goes in play. Just gone half time. It's Chelsea 0, Arsenal 1 at half time. This is the price here on Arsenal as expected. And so if we look at how the correct score market looks, it's looking positive for us. We could actually just collect a profit right now, £37 on this one. And it's pretty tempting. But let's have a look at the data. So we can see after plugging in these XG numbers, we're right where we should be. It feels 0-0. We'll be expecting a goal. Expected match result currently a draw, so we could be looking potentially at Chelsea getting back into this. So anyway, we've got a few options. Obviously, taking a profit is one, letting it run is another. But I do see at least another goal in this one. So I do believe what we'll do is we will put this down to 0. We'll put the 0-1 down to 0. What that does, it will increase the green on the next possible scores, which are 1-1 and 0-2 to Arsenal. It's also going to lower our overall exposure in the trade should it suddenly go goal crazy, which can happen in some matches. So anyway, we'll stick with that and we'll see what the second goal of the match does for us, and we'll assess at that point. Keeping in mind, if there are no further goals, as it stands, it'll just be a break even for us. So anyway, let's see what happens. Chelsea 0, Arsenal 1. 50 minutes on the clock. Arsenal have just doubled the lead. It is now Chelsea 0, Arsenal 2. Bit of a nightmare for Chelsea with the goals they conceded in this one. So you might notice that second goal for Arsenal is actually, been a bit of a blow to our position. We were in a better position before when it was 1-0 to Arsenal. Main reason for that is because we're on the 2-0, but we don't have the 3-0 covered, and it's obviously still fairly early in the match, and the markets are anticipating that there's going to be more goals. So obviously, look, some of your options, we could just get out now and take whatever it is that we have. But also, I mean, remember from what we saw, Arsenal outperforming their XG a little bit in this one. So I will be prepared to just go to 0 on the 0-2, okay? And by doing that, yeah, we'll break even if it finishes 2-0 to Arsenal, but we're kind of expecting that Chelsea will get on the score sheet in this one. So we'll do that, because then that puts us in a nice profitable position on a 2-1, maybe even a 2-2. If it remains 2-0, we break even. If Arsenal do score again, which is obviously what we're kind of betting against here, we'll take a loss, but it's a much smaller loss. It's not exactly like we're losing our full stake, so it's a £30 loss. So those are our scenarios as it stands. Okay, Arsenal are winning 2-0, slightly outperforming their XG. Let's see if Chelsea can get back into it. 59 minutes on the clock. We did say that Arsenal were outperforming their XG. The match has corrected slightly, and we're back to a 1-goal gap. It puts us on the 2-1. Now, anyway, look, we've got one more target score after this. There's half an hour left to play. So we're just going to collect the profit on this, because another Arsenal goal, we don't have any scores covered after that, and it's just going to make life difficult for ourselves. So this can often play out like this when you're trading the correct score market. If you get all these goals too early, that can actually work against you. So obviously 2-1 by 56 minutes is hugely different when it's 2-1 at 86 minutes when you're trading the correct score market. But anyway, look, we still made a profit, so let's just get this locked in. And of course, depending on how you want to trade, you could still go in backing other scores if you still wanted to get involved on that 2-2, for example. Okay, you've still got options. But anyway, we will be exiting. But anyway, you saw how this trade played out. Obviously, the football trading genie, it's given us the target scores in favour of Arsenal. Kind of expecting a low-scoring Arsenal win. 2-1 by 60 minutes, bit of a surprise. But anyway, we had to trade off the 0-1 at half-time. We traded off the 0-2 when Arsenal went 2-0 up. And we were in a position another Arsenal goal would have killed us. But we were anticipating Chelsea were going to at least get one goal in this one. And they have. So, look, everything has played out exactly how I was anticipating it. We're going to exit because our position was not so strong with only one target score left. So, anyway, we're out. Looks like a good game. Be interesting to see how it finishes. But we're done. Chelsea 1, Arsenal 2.
So hopefully this is making a lot more sense now. As you've seen in these clips so far, we're using the AI to give us our entry point into the trade. We're going to open the trade. Then we use XG to guide us. The AI gives us the entry. The XG tells us whether we're still right. If we're still right, then everything's going to plan. If we're not right and it's going in a different direction, then we can pivot as traders or we can exit. So when it's going right, that's when we can scale. When it's pretty much bang on where it's meant to be, we can just hold the trade. But when it's not going to plan, we can also exit. So hopefully this is making a lot more sense, and we're pretty much outsourcing our decision making to the robots, who are obviously a lot smarter than you or I. But anyway, as you can see in the videos, we're using the football trading genie. This is your own AI powered football trading assistant. If you want to get a demo of it, if you want to try and get your hands on it, there are links in the description of this video. It's a great bit of kit, as you can absolutely see. It's absolutely priceless as a time saver. So yeah, if you want to see more about it, the link is in the description, or you can just scan the QR code that is on the screen right now. If you're watching on a TV or it's just easier, then scan the QR code and you can fiddle around on your phone and check it out, okay? And that would be to get a demo of this, or maybe get your hands on it if it's currently available. So as I said, click the links in the description, or just scan the QR code that's on the screen. Anyway, we got more real life trading demonstrations, and we're sticking to this system, okay? It's AI to enter the market, XG to guide us and show us if we're still right or not. Let's get into it.
So we're going to be trading MK Dons against Oxford United. This is from the FA Cup, so it's a pretty tricky one to call. Anyway, we've run it through the football trading genie, and we've got the scores to go for, which is quite interesting because Oxford are the favourites. However, we're actually looking at going for MK Dons according to this one, so we're going to favour MK Dons. So let's get set up. And so as you can see, we've got everything in the market here. 1-0, 1-1, 2-0, 2-1 in favour of MK Dons, the underdog. And yeah, 1-0 and the 1-1 is like the plan B in favour of Oxford, which is the favourite. So let's just double check that. So it's quite interesting. It's quite an interesting call. Let's see if it pays off. MK Dons against Oxford from the FA Cup. It's half time here. It's MK Dons 1, Oxford United 0. So do remember, Oxford United were the favourites for this one. The football trading genie said to favour the MK Dons. So this is looking good so far. Now, if we look at the current market, look, you could take £43 and walk away. We're going to try and push further. We're in a good position on this one. However, we don't have 3-0 covered to MK Dons. We do have the 1-1 and the 2-1. So we've got to tread carefully. And let me, just look at the XG. Plugged in the numbers on this one. So we've got a goal overdue. So this 1-0 to MK Dons as it stands at half-time. Most likely, according to this, there's going to be further goals. At least one as a minimum. So we've got to keep that in mind. And so we will lay off the 1-0 down to 0. It's going to put more green on the other scores, and it will lower our overall liability. So we should, or could, potentially be in a better situation should that second goal arrive. Okay, we want to always look to improve our situation as the goals go in. The only real threat to this, a quick early goal in the early stages of the second half, not ideal because we don't have a 3-0. So if it goes 2-0 to MK Dons, early in the second half. That's not our most ideal scenario. But anyway, let's see what happens. This is so far so good. It's MK Dons 1, Oxford United 0. 55 minutes, just had a goal. MK Dons 1, Oxford United 1. So the pre-match favourite has now levelled this. We're on a 1-1. We've got green on that. We've got green on 2-1 to MK Dons also. So let me just head over to this. I've updated the XG. We update... Whoops, that's not the right score. So we update the correct score. Now, no goals overdue. We're still expecting an MK Dons home win, though. So, anyway, let me show you what we can do. We've got £66 worth of liability. We could just lay this off. Okay, so we lay it off. We lay off all our risk that is on the trade. And just to show you, we could take that profit also. That's there. The £48 and to call it a day. But I'm going to try and go for the data-driven approach on this one, and we're going to leave 219 worth of green on the 2-1 to MK Dons. Okay, so current scenarios, it remains 1-1. We land the £29 of profit. MK Dons take the lead. We could potentially increase that profit. The worst-case scenario is Oxford taking the lead, and then that would obviously kill everything, but we would be break-even. So break-even's not always the worst thing. Anyway, let's see what happens. It's going to be curious to see what happens next. It's MK Dons 1, Oxford United 1. Who's going to get that next goal? So fast approaching the 70th minute in this one. It's still MK Dons 1, Oxford 1. So MK Dons haven't regained the lead in the meantime. But anyway, look, it could obviously be Oxford who nicked this late on. It could just be the one goal in this. So we want to do something just in case Oxford do take the lead. So we've got £29 worth of green. On the 1-1, we can take that green, put it on the 2-1 to Oxford, and then we've got some green on that one, and we've got much bigger green. We've got 121 worth of green on the 2-1 to Oxford, as you can see, and we've still got 190 worth of green on the MK Dons. Okay, and we're still just break even if it remains 1-1. So it's effectively a free bet on a later draw, rather. So anyway, 1-1, 68 minutes. Let's see what happens. MK Dons 1, Oxford 1. So we're in the very late stages of this one, and it has remained MK Dons 1, Oxford 1, which is a little bit surprising considering that Oxford goal was at 51 minutes. Lots of time left on the clock for there to be another goal. And we did position ourselves very nicely if anyone scored. If it was MK Dons, if it was Oxford, you saw how we shifted things around in anticipation of another goal. However, it hasn't transpired, but the good news is you're going to end up being break even. That's the beauty of the correct score market. When you're trading the correct score market, you can put yourselves in positions like this. We were just patiently waiting for a goal. It hasn't arrived. Just break even on this one. There will be a lot of break even trades on the correct score market. So anyway, we're out on this one. It's MK Dons 1, Oxford 1. It looks like it's going to be the final score. We're going to be trading Monaco versus Lorient from the French League, and we're going to trade the correct score market. So we can see Monaco are a strong favourite here, but we're going to go to the football trading genie to see what scores we should be covering in this one. So let's take a look at this. We've just pressed the prompt. It's going to crunch all the recent statistics and form. And it's coming up with this target score formula in favour of Monaco. 2-1, 3-1, 2-0, and then the 1-1 and 2-2 as our plan B. So anyway, let's get set up. So I put all of those into the market, as you can see, and we've gone for a Dutch. We've Dutched these scores, so we've got 1, 3, 4 of green across these scores. And just keep in mind, for anyone that's new, we are trading this market. It's not a bet and just hoping we land on one of these scores. We're trading the match as it develops and as the goals go in. If you're not quite sure what that is, then hey, strap yourself in. It's going to be an interesting clip. Monaco versus Lorient just about to kick off. So it's half time. It's Monaco 0, Lorient 0, and that's quite interesting. You would have thought we'd have at least one goal in this one so far. But anyway, still got all our target scores still alive because it is still 0-0. Anyway, let's take a look at the data. And looking at the XG on this one, we're overdue a goal. We're just not quite sure who it would be to. Okay, so that is, you know, with Monaco being such a strong favourite in this one, you would assume that we should be looking or expecting a goal to Monaco. But looks like Lorient are putting up a bit of a fight in this one. So anyway, with all this taken into account, we have to be quite aggressive, I do believe, to go against this 0-0. We don't have any green on a 1-0 or a 0-1, so we've got to start to yeah, I think we've got to start to be aggressive on this one. Now, it's 6.6 to lay off this 0-0. We don't necessarily have to take that. You could just put an order into the market at lower odds, which we'll do here. So we'll put an order in at 4. That'll put us up to the our maximum liability for this trade. And once that is taken, after that, a goal is going to lower our overall liability on further scores, and it's going to increase the green a little bit more. If there is a goal in the meantime, we will reassess. So anyway, that's all set. It's in the market in order to lay the 0-0 and go maximum liability when that price hits 4. We'll give you more updates during the second half. 70 minutes on the clock. We finally got the breakthrough in this one, and we did say at half time that Monaco not really performing great, and Lorient is the team that's actually taken the lead in this one. So just taking a look at the data here and plugged in the XG numbers. So yeah, it's still expected to be low scoring. No goals are overdue. It was on the 0-0, and we had a goal overdue, as we know, and then obviously Lorient have got it. Still looking at that current projected match result of being a draw. So we're going to be aggressive. We're going to go fully against this 1-0. We're going to go full liability again. Okay, full liability again if I can. Let's just adjust that. And then even if Lorient score the next goal, that will put us all green. But ideally, if we can get onto the 1-1, and that was one of our target scores, then everything is all good. So it puts us in a situation now where we are just looking for a goal either way. And we'll be pretty happy. If it is Lorient 2-0 up, we'll make a small profit. But if we do get on that target score of the 1-1, then we really are in business. We've also got 2-1 there also. So anyway, that's the move. It's Monaco 0, Lorient 1 on 71 minutes. 75 minutes on the clock. Monaco have equalised. That is very, very good news for us. Puts us on the 1-1 score. As you can see, we do have 255 worth of green on that 1-1 score. So we're going to lay it off. Remember, 2-1, one of our target scores. So let's just, well, can't quite lay it off there. Let me just move this up just to get this in so we can see the situation. So remember, our target scores covered this 1-1 scenario. Also covered the 2-1 to Monaco scenario, and also covered the 2-2. So as it stands, we're laying off the green on the 1-1, which gives us 145 on the 1-1. We've also still got green on the 1-2, which wasn't one of our target scores, but we've got bigger green if it can go to 2-1 to Monaco, or even 2-2 later on. But if it can go to 2-1 to Monaco, we should be able to increase our profits on this one. So anyway, as it stands, in fact, we might even just lay off a little bit more just to try and even this up a bit. Or we're not necessarily even it up, but to put us in a position where another goal will improve our profits. So if Lorient do score and it goes 2-1 to Lorient, then that will improve our situation a little bit. But ideally, we want to get on that target score of the 2-1. So as it stands, 1-1, £124 sits on that. 1-2, 141, and then the 2-1, we've got 375. So we're going to make a profit on this match. It's just a matter of how much. Let's see what happens next. We've had a third goal in this one. It's gone to Lorient. How very annoying that was. Heard the goal notification, and well, as it stands, could be another goal flying in right now. So anyway, goal's gone in. Goal's gone to Lorient. There could be another goal. There could be another goal. And from what I can get a little glimpse of, I think it's just gone 3-1 to Lorient. Anyway, yeah, it has just gone 3-1 to Lorient. So anyway, well, that pretty much seals our trade, doesn't it? Okay, because I was going to say we're on the 2-1. We still got 2-2, and I was about to lay off that 2-1, but obviously trying to record this clip took a little bit longer than expected. But either way, I mean, those goals were very, very quick. Wasn't much time between those, was it? So 85 minutes and then 87 minutes. So that pretty much seals the trade for us. We're now obviously on a non-target scoreline, but the good news is we're still collecting a very nice profit on this one of £141. So if anything, it is a good example of how you can enter a correct score trade, pick out your target scores, get it completely wrong, and still profit. Okay, this is wildly wrong from where we initially forecast the match, or where the football trading genie initially forecast the match. So anyway, we are on the score of Monaco 1, Lorient 3, not one of our target score lines, but we're still going to collect a profit of £141. So that is it. We're out of this trade. It's probably not the final score. There might still be more goals, but we're done with this trade. It's Monaco 1, Lorient 3.
So we're going to dive straight in and talk about what the key to correct score trading on Betfair is, the key to profitable correct score trading. And it is having the optimal target score formula for the match that you're going to be trading. Now, the target score formula, in case you're new to this, it's a group of multiple correct scores that you're going to back as your opening trade into the market. When we're trading the correct score market, you're not just going to pick one score, cross your fingers and hope for the best. We're going to be picking a group of scores. And for example, we might cover these scores here: 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 2-1, and 3-1. And keep in mind, this is not us trying to predict the final score. It's us trying to find tradable scores during the match. So when you are trying to pick out your target scores, there's a lot of stuff to consider. You've got to look at the recent final scores of the home team. You've got to look at the recent final scores of the away team. You also need to look at the average goal timings of the home team, the average goal timings of the away team also. As said, we're trying to find tradable scores, not necessarily the final score. And for example, if we just look at this graphic here, when we're trading, we're actually trying to consider the path of the scoring during the match. So, for example, as we know, at kickoff, the match is 0-0, but then it goes to 1-0, it goes to 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, and 3-2. Now, if our target score was, say, 2-0, 2-1, and 3-1, then obviously, look, it goes to 1-0. That's not one of the scores that we cover, but it goes to 2-0. We can trade off the 2-0. Then it goes on to the 2-1. We can trade off the 2-1. 3-1, potentially, we take our profits. The match finishes 3-2. That was not one of our target scores, but hey, as a trader, we've already locked in the profits. So anyway, look, when we are trying to build our target score formula, this is what we're trying to consider: the path of the scoring, the timing of the goals also. So anyway, look, as you can see, trying to work out a target score formula for every single match, it can be a little bit complex. It can be quite time consuming at the same time. There are some target score formulas which are pretty good and they can cover quite a lot of matches. However, ideally, if you're really going to go to the next level with your correct score trading, you need to have a unique target score formula for every match that you trade. But as said, this is the problem. It's complex, it's time consuming. It could probably take you 20 to 30 minutes to research this by yourself, which is why we obviously, in the world we live in today, we've got the solution, and that's just to get AI to do it. Done, okay? So what might easily take you 20 to 30 minutes per match to research the most optimal target score formula, crunch all the numbers, crunch all the data, be confident. AI can now do that in 20 to 30 seconds. And that's what we're going to be showing you in the video today. We're going to be diving into some real life examples of this so you can understand exactly what's going on. And we're going to be using this, the Football Trading Genie, which is an AI football trading assistant designed to analyze and crunch every market for you, including the correct score market. And this AI is fully trained on football trading, and it has every football trading strategy known to mankind in its knowledge base. So within seconds, it can look at a match for you and suggest the most optimal strategy for you to use. Anyway, we're going to dive right in to some real life trading demonstrations where we're going to trade the correct score market, and we're going to use AI to help us trade it. So let's get into that right now. But before we do, it would be great if you could click the like button to support the channel. If you do like content like this, it's very, very recommended for you to click the like button. YouTube will give you more videos just like this in the future. So click the like button to support the channel. If you really, really do like our content, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell also. Anyway, let's dive into it. We're going to get into some real life trading demonstrations, correct score trading using AI. So I'm going to quickly show you just how easy it is to use the AI. This is nothing complex at all, okay? You don't need to be a tech genius to do this. So you would just log in, Football Trading Genie. You got your strategies. We're not going to worry about that today. You would just select a match. You can select it via country and via league like you would on a typical bookmaker. You could go by starting soon. It shows you what is just about to kick off. You could also just look at matches that are later today or tomorrow. There's nothing further after that. But anyway, starting soon, we've got this one from the Champions League. And to work out our correct score trading formula, it is as simple as clicking this button. You just click the prompt and the AI does the rest of the work. So it's going to instantly look at the recent final scores for the home team, recent final scores for the away team, the goal timings. As you can see, it's going to work out a plan A and a plan B, give you ideas of the early goal risk, the late goal potential, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, basically, once it's done, you've got your target score formula and you're ready to trade. And so it's telling us, look, 1-2, 2-0, 1-1, 1-3, 2-2, all in favor of Atletico Madrid. This is the optimal target score formula. So as you can see, very, very quick. It came up with that very, very quick. If you were trying to research this as a human, it might take you a little bit longer than that. So you can see how powerful it is. Anyway, we're going to dive into trading some real matches using the AI. Let's get into it right now. So we're going to trade this Champions League match with Inter Milan against Arsenal. Very, very even market, as you can see here. But we're going to be trading the correct score market. So we're going to use AI to tell us which team to favour, which target scores to back. So we head over to the Football Trading Genie and we click on the correct score trading prompt, as you can see here. And it's going to tell us to favour Arsenal, according to this. And to be covering 1-0, 1-1, 1-2, 2-0, and 3-1 in favour of Arsenal. So the plan A is to focus on the Arsenal win, with a plan B being the 1-1, or also the 0-1 to Arsenal, bit of a plan B. So anyway, look, let's get set up and we will be trading this one in play. So here we are, all set up. So it's going in favour of the Arsenal win, with the 1-1 being a plan B. So as I said, it's going to be interesting. Let's trade it in play. We'll give you more updates as things develop. So we've reached half time and it's Inter Milan 1, Arsenal 2, a high scoring first half. So that's interesting, a little bit unexpected. So anyway, we are on the 2-1 to Arsenal. We've also got 3-1 covered. So we're down to just two scores that are left alive in this one. Yep. And obviously we don't have anything on that 2-2 to Inter Milan. So anyway, we entered with £100 risk in this market. We've got to anticipate there's going to be at least one more goal in this. So I'm going to move that £100 risk onto the 2-1 to Arsenal. Now what that's going to do for us is it will put more green on the 3-1 to Arsenal. So that's now our sole target score. But if Inter Milan score, then we will be looking at a loss. However, it's not the biggest loss. We're not going to be losing our full stake. We'll only lose £43 on this one. So we're looking at these three scenarios right now. It stays 2-1, we lose 100. Goes to 2-0 or any other, 2-2 or any other score in favour of Inter Milan, then we lose 43. But if we can hit the 3-1 to Arsenal, we do have £537 worth of green sitting on that score. We could also just exit, just take the profit, which often could be a good idea after multiple goals in the first half. But that wasn't what you wanted to see when you clicked on this clip. So let's keep it going. Let's see what happens in the second half. Inter Milan 1, Arsenal 2. 85 minutes on the clock. It's Inter Milan 1, Arsenal 3. Just what we were looking for. So let's lay off immediately. Immediately lay off. At this stage of the match, you need to be pretty fast. Lay it off. Get in there. And yeah, there's going to be other people trying to do the same also. The market's going to be bouncing around. So we can lock in 3-6-2. We want to try and put ourselves in a position where another goal would leverage us up and improve our profit. So let's do that. But I do think this match is done, to be honest. It's been a pretty comfortable win. But anyway, we will do this. I'm going to put myself in a position where, look, if we can... If it remains 3-1 to Arsenal, we will collect £323 of profit. If we get any other goal, we will end up making £500 plus. So that's a nice position to be in, okay? With, what, 5 minutes left, plus the time added on. We're in a position where we're going to make a profit. It's just a matter of how much. Inter Milan 1, Arsenal 3. The full-time whistle has blown in this one, and the final score is Inter Milan 1, Arsenal 3. And obviously we landed on that 3-1 in just the right timing, despite all the early goals in this one. So anyway, very, very nice call from the football trading genie. I don't think I would have gone for an Arsenal win as big as this away to Inter Milan. I thought Arsenal would win it, but maybe a 1-0 or a 2-0, probably from a set piece or something like that. But anyway, here we are. Inter Milan 1, Arsenal 3. The profit is landed, and just to confirm it, it's going to be this one as the profit. 3-2-5 landed. You saw how the trade played out. You saw the move at half-time where we went for that final target score, and we got some good timing with that fourth goal of the match. We're out on this one with a very nice profit. We're going to be using AI to trade this Champions League match with Villarreal against Ajax, and we're going to trade the correct score market. Also, you can see Villarreal, very strong, short price favourite for this one. But anyway, we're going to head over to the football trading genie. We're going to click on the correct score trading prompt, and we're going to see what the correct score genie is going to come up with. And it's looking interesting already from the looks of it, and it's not a mistake. It's going in favour of the underdog. So Ajax, pretty big underdog here. And you don't see this often, but it's going in favour with the target score formula of Ajax. So 1-2, 2-0, 3-1, and also covering the 1-1 and the 2-2 as a plan B. So clearly expecting a bit of a shock on the cards. Let's get set up. So we're all set up here, as you can see, on the 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, some pretty big green if it does come off. Some pretty big green to play with. But anyway, look, we are going in favour of the underdog. It's not something you have to follow if you don't like going in favour of the underdog. But it's going to be interesting for this clip. Let's see how it plays out. It's Villarreal against Ajax from the Champions League. So we've reached half-time here, and it's Villarreal 0, Ajax 0. So no goals so far. If there's going to be a surprise, then it's taking a little bit of time to get there. But anyway, we're obviously on a 0-0, which is a red score. Now the 0-0 is 8.8 to lay off. So we're not going to take any action just yet. We're going to see how the second half goes. Look for some goals, and then we will reassess. Or if it does stay 0-0 until a little bit later on, we'll probably go against it with further liability. But as it stands, we're not going to take any action. The prices are too high to lay off. But it is Villarreal 0, Ajax 0. So we're at 55 minutes, and we've had the opening goal in this one, and it's gone to Villarreal. So obviously not the way that we wanted that first goal to go. But there's no need to panic, because we were kind of expecting this as an inevitability, Villarreal being the favourite. So no need to panic. This is still potentially going to plan, but we will go aggressive against this 1-0, okay? So we're going to do that. This way, if Villarreal do make it 2-0, at least we're getting our loss down a little bit. If we can get onto that 1-1, we are back in business on this trade. So anyway, we're going to do that. It's going to lower down the liability on the red scores, but put more green on the green scores. And we'll see what happens. It's 55 minutes, Villarreal 1, Ajax 0. 61 minutes on the clock, and we've got the goal that we were looking for. It's Villarreal 1, Ajax 1. So we're on that 1-1 scoreline. What I will immediately do is we're going to lay off a bit more of our risk on this, okay? So we're going to get I'm going to lay off £25 of this. It will leave green on the 1-1, and it will just get down the risk on the rest of this trade down to £50. So we're basically risking £50 if Villarreal do take the lead. If it remains 1-1, we've got 140 worth of green. And this is just as it stands, by the way. And then obviously we've got the bigger green on the 1-2 to Ajax and the 1-3 to Ajax. So bit of a potential shock with the Villarreal 1, Ajax 1 at 62 minutes, but not really a shock to us. We did potentially see it coming. Anyway, let's see what happens. Let's see if we can get onto a green score. And yeah, we've got plenty of time to get it. It's Villarreal 1, Ajax 1. 90 minutes on the clock. Villarreal 1, Ajax 2. It looks like the shock is about to potentially come off here. So I'm going to start to lay this off. We still got a fairly high price to lay it off, considering we're entering time added on this. And so obviously 550 worth of green. A lot of people might think, oh, it's going to be a nice £500 of profit. Not going to quite work out like that, but I am going to start to lay off this 2-1. Obviously, look, if Ajax hit 3-1, that's even nicer for us, isn't it? But we want to have a bit more on the 2-2 potentially, which we now do. So we've got 417 on the 2-1 to Ajax, which is good. We've got 2-2, which is 530. That's a higher profit on the 2-2, and then obviously we hit the jackpot if Ajax can score again. So yeah, what I will do is we will lay off just a little bit more of this and just anticipate that, look, there's going to be a big push from Villarreal to equalise, isn't it? So we will lay it off, and that will put us in a position on the 3-1 where we're going to make 300 odd pounds, but we've got much bigger profits now on the 2-2 also. It's in there as a lay order, as you can see. I wonder if we're going to get it taken while we're in this clip. A little bit's taken. Okay, I think almost all of it's taken. So now you've got a good idea of what we're looking for. Okay, so we will leverage up if we get another goal in this one. We're going to make a profit. It's just a matter of how much. And that was the final score. The whistle, the final whistle's just gone in this one. It's going to be Villarreal 1, Ajax 2. It's an outstanding call from the football trading genie to go in favour of the underdog. I never in a million years would have gone for this in favour of Ajax. And if Ajax scored again, that would have been a very, very nice amount of green. So anyway, you saw how this trade played out. I mean, 0-0 at half-time. When Villarreal took the lead, you thought, oh, okay, well, here we go. Villarreal, comfortable win. But we still had that 1-1. We leveraged the 1-1. And in the end, we ended up with 377 worth of green on this one. So very nice call from the football trading genie, from the AI. We definitely wouldn't have called it otherwise. Villarreal 1, Ajax 2, the final score. So I hope you're enjoying checking this out, and the next example I'm going to show you is even more crazy than the last one. But if you didn't do it earlier, remember to hit the like button. That's if you do enjoy videos just like this. It's going to help YouTube send you more videos just like this in the future on your algorithm. And just to be clear, the football trading genie, it's not just for the correct score market. It can actually find strategies for every market and every match. This is your own AI powered football trading assistant, a great bit of kit, absolutely priceless as a time saver. Now, if you want to see more about it or get a demo, there are links in the description of this video to click, or if it's easier, scan the QR code on the screen, and obviously this will give you the chance to get a hold of this for yourself. So anyway, click the link that's in the description, or if it's easier, just scan the QR code and you can get going that way. Anyway, we're going to dive in more real life trading demonstrations, trade in the correct score market using the AI from the football trading genie.
So we're going to trade Sheffield United against Mansfield. It's the FA Cup. We're going to trade the correct score market. So we've been on the football trading genie to give us the target score formula for this match, the ideal one. And no surprise, it's going to go in favour of the favourite Sheffield United. Covering 2-0, 2-1, 3-1 in favour of Sheffield United, and then the 1-1 and even a 1-2 to Mansfield, which is an interesting little bit of a wild card correct score to throw in there. So anyway, no, not that market, correct score market. Let's take a look at this. So yeah, here we are, 1-1, 1-2. We've gone for a split stake approach. I mean, if it does end up on a Mansfield 2-1, it could be a very, very nice position to be in. Anyway, let's see what happens. It's just about to kick off. Sheffield United against Mansfield. We've reached half time in this one. It's Sheffield United 1, Mansfield 2. So now I probably understand why the football trading genie told us to cover the 2-1 score in favour of Mansfield, because we're on that 2-1 score and there's a few things going on that obviously we need to explain. So look, we are now in a situation, look, Sheffield United are losing. They're losing 2-1 to Mansfield, staring at a red screen. And there might be some of you looking at that thinking, well, how can it be a red screen? We've got £400 of green on the 2-1. Well, it's the price that's available. It's a 6.6 price to lay. It's not low enough for us to be able to green any of this out. So while the genie was good in predicting the 2-1 to Mansfield, the 2-1 to Mansfield has just arrived a little bit too early in the match for us. It's not anyone's fault. That's just how football matches can play out. But also do keep in mind the main idea behind having the 2-1 to Mansfield was it was a plan B. Our plan A was expecting a comfortable win in favour of Sheffield United. That's clearly not going to happen right now, is it? If they're losing 2-1 at half time to Mansfield. So with correct score trading, you always want to be giving yourself that plan B just in case it does go absolutely pear-shaped, which it has, and we can exit without losing our full stake, which we will do right now. So we're just going to exit and take the loss, the £28 loss, and we will move on. The main idea behind correct score trading is that when you get these sorts of matches, the matches which are just not ideal for our target score formula, we exit, we try and minimise that loss as much as possible. And then obviously in our next trade we can win it back and much more if everything goes to plan. So anyway, we're out early on this one, but it's quite interesting that the genie did tell us to cover the 2-1 to Mansfield. Quite prophetic, but anyway, in the end it saved us a little bit because well, if we didn't have that 2-1 covered, then yeah, we would have lost our full stake. So anyway, we've managed to minimise the loss, which when you're a trader feels as good as a win. We're out on this one. Sheffield United 1, Mansfield 2. Going to be trading this match from German Bundesliga 2. It's Müster against Karlsruhe. Müster, as you can see, a favourite here. We're going to trade the correct score market. So obviously lots of scores to cover, and we're going to head to the football trading genie and get the AI to break it down and tell us the target score formula for this one. Okay, so anyway, what's interesting about this one is it does look like the football trading genie is going against the market here and suggesting a close, narrow game with the away side edging it. So actually, the target score formula is 0-1, 1-1, 1-2, 0-2, and 2-3. So that's quite an interesting one. Okay, typically we often will say, look, go in favour of the favourite, probability, etc. is going to be on your side, but the AI has a different idea here. So anyway, let's get set up. And so I'm all set up now, and I've gone for a split staking approach on these scores. So obviously we're covering the underdog. You've got some very nice prices on this. So if it does come off, then we could be trading and making some nice profits. I mean, the 2-3 score, not typically something I would be picking out before the match. But anyway, let's give it a go. Okay, we can always trade in play and react to the events, and as you might have seen from some of our other clips, even if we don't get the target scores, it's still possible to make a profit. Okay, so remember, we are trading. This isn't just a straight bet. Let's give you more updates as this one develops. It's going to be an interesting trade, I think. So half time in this one, it's 0-0 at half time, so no goals so far. Now we're obviously on this 0-0. Now we've got to look at our two next possible scores, which are the 1-0, which is red, the 0-1, which is green. So we've got a few options. We could just completely bail on this trade and just say, hey, do you know what, this isn't what we like the look of, let's skip it and move on. But I do believe we're in a good situation, and we just need to be probably aggressive against this 0-0. Once we get one goal in this match, we're in a strong position. So we're going to enter now and get our full liability in the market. Remember, we're only entering with half our stake, and ideally, if we can just trade with just half our stake, that's then that means the trade has gone very, very well. But from time to time, when we want to be aggressive, we're going to get a full stake into the market, which is what we're going to do. Now, I'm also going to get it in at odds of 4 rather than 5.5. Just going to wait for those odds to tick down a little bit lower risk, and then that will be taken at odds of 4. And then after that, it will just mean any goal is going to lower our liability on this one, also increase the green on our green scores. So our most ideal scenario is still the away team taking the lead. So let's see what happens. Anyway, lots of football still to be played. We'll give you more updates in the second half. 80 minutes on the clock. We've had a red card. Then immediately after the red card, we've got the goal, the breakthrough to Karlsruhe. And this is obviously the away team that we did favour. So, I mean, it's happened, hasn't it? So, anyway, first things first is we will lay off all the risk that we do have in the market, just to make sure, even though we're pretty strong. We're pretty strong on this because we've got 1-1 covered. We've also got 0-2 covered also. So we've got 2-4-4 of green on the 0-1. We've got 1-6-8 of green on the 1-1. So we always want to put ourselves in a position where that next goal or that next score up is going to have more green than your current one. So we're gonna do this. So we're going to lay off the 0-1. and that gives us 174 of green on the 0-1. We've now got 268 of green on the 0-1. We've also got £700 of green on the 0-2. If Karlsruhe can make it 2-0, that would be very, very nice. So we're going to do that, and do you know, I'm going to add a little bit more onto this so that we can just have that little bit more on the 1-1. Even though there is the red card, and you would think that they're going to ride this out, but still want to have a little bit more green on that 1-1. And just to be clear, there's no set rules with this. This is based on just your thoughts and feelings on the game in this particular moment. There's no particular mathematics to how much green you should leave on each score. But as said, we do want to stick to the principle, have more green available if it does go to 1-1. But really, we're aiming for that 0-2. Let's see what happens. 82 minutes on the clock. I wonder if we're going to get another goal in this one. 87 minutes on the clock. The second goal has arrived, and we're on the 2-0 scoreline, the scoreline that we were aiming for. So we're going to start to try and lay this off, if possible. The market's always going to be bouncing round and doing all sorts in these late stages. So you can't typically wait for the cash out. Okay, you can't typically wait for that. And let's just put the lay order in the market, and hopefully it'll be taken. So anyway, yeah, there's going to be prices bouncing around in these late stages, and yeah, you just got to be a little bit patient. So anyway, we put in the lay order. You can see the cash out's offering us close to 500. Anyway, look, we've got it all out of the market now, and we're actually now in a position, as said, look, if we can get the next goal to go to 3-0 or 3-1, that would improve our green even more. Okay, and so just to be clear also, I mean, a lot of people who are beginners to this, you saw £700 worth of green that was on the 0-2. Remember, when you're trading, we're not going to be able to take 100% of that. We have to trade it out, and we've locked in 480 of it. So it's still very nice and not bad considering our initial risk. So yeah, we've got a couple more minutes. We've got the time added on, so you never know. There could be another goal in this one. So what we will do, I'll put in a lay order, and I'll put it in at 1.3. We'll put another 100 on it. Just in case. I mean, this match has gone absolutely mad with a red card and the late goals, so it's probably worth just putting that in. That'll get taken, and it will mean that if it remains 2-0, our profit's going to be the 450. But if we do get another goal, we will leverage up nicely. So anyway, let's see what happens. It's 0-2, couple more minutes left. So we're in the final few seconds of this one, and it looks like it's just going to finish on the 2-0 to Karlsruhe. Obviously, just to show you, we're going to collect the 450. We were positioned to leverage up to make 760 if there was another goal in this one, or well, potentially a lot more if it went to 2-1. If Müster could have pulled one back, that would have been very, very nice. Anyway, very interesting trade. Now, if you go back to the start of this video, remember, the Football Trading Genie told us to go with our target score formula in favour of the underdog. Would I have chosen these target scores if I was trading this myself? Probably not. Okay, so definitely a hats off to the AI moment for calling this one. Told us to cover these scores. You could argue maybe got a little bit lucky with the red card, but I don't know. I mean, in the end, maybe it wasn't luck at all. Anyway, we're out of this one with a 450 profit. It's Müster 0, Karlsruhe 2.
So when you're trading the correct score market on Betfair, you're typically going to open the trade by choosing a cluster of correct scores to back. And this is known as your target score formula, your TSF. So if you wanted to go with the home favourite, you could typically back 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 2-1 and 3-1 in favour of that home favourite. You're not just going to back one correct score and hope for the best. You're going to back a cluster of scores, and we're going to trade those scores as the goals go in. That's the idea behind correct score trading. It's vastly different from just having a bet on the correct score market. However, with picking out our target score formula like we have here, football is inconveniently unpredictable. So what we need is a plan A and a plan B, and we're going to incorporate that plan A and plan B into our target score formula. So we're not predicting a score. We're basically saying if the favourite does what we expect, we have a plan A worked into our target score formula. If the game resists, we've got a plan B. And the best way of looking at it, that many people will like, plan A is our primary plan, plan B is insurance. So with that in mind, our plan A and plan B, if we wanted to go in favour of, say, the home favourite, might start to look a little bit something like this. We might cover 2-0, 2-1 and 3-0 in favour of the favourite, and then also cover 1-1 and 0-1 as our plan B. This way we can look to profit if everything goes to plan, the favourite controls the game, and if they control the game, they're probably inevitably going to end up on these scores. If the favourite doesn't quite control the game, the underdog looks good, we might start looking at these scores. And of course, it's going to be dependent on the teams we're getting involved in. So don't just look at this target score formula and take it for gospel. Every match, you're going to have to work out its own target score formula. So that is the idea behind the plan A and plan B. Now, the idea is this can allow you to profit even if you get it wrong. So if we look at a match, we're expecting the favourite to dominate. We stack our target score formula in favour of that favourite, but the underdog wins or something else goes crazy wrong. We could still potentially profit. We also have the chance to exit if we get it wrong. We can also break even if we get it wrong. So incorporating the plan B, as said, it's like insurance. And the best part is the top one. We can still profit even if we do get it wrong. And there's lots of examples of that on our channel for you to check out. This can also allow us to trade the correct score market just by following the data with no real need to watch the match. We can just follow the XG data, knowing we've got our plan B and our plan A. We can follow the numbers, follow the data, act accordingly. And as said, we could exit, we could break even, we could even still profit, even if we've called it totally wrong. Now, as said, it's all about your target score formula. Today, we use AI to pick out our target score formula because you've got to look at a match, you've got to crunch a lot of numbers, you've got to look at the recent scores, etc., etc. It's much easier just to get AI to do it, and we use the football trading genie to pick out the target score formula. And remember, it's been trained on everything that we've just mentioned, and it's given us a target score formula for us to trade on, not necessarily to try and predict the final score. And the best part is the football trading genie will incorporate the plan A and the plan B for you. So anyway, we're going to dive into that right now. We're going to do some real life trading demonstrations. We're going to get the football trading genie to give us our plan A and our plan B. Then we're going to trade it following the data, following the numbers in the real market. Let's get into that right now. But before we do, it would be really, really great if you could smash the like button to support the channel. If you click the like button and you like videos and subjects like this, you're going to get more videos like this in your algorithm, in your suggested videos. So it's actually going to help you out a lot to click that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you do really, really, really like it. Anyway, let's dive in to these demonstrations right now, and I think it's all going to make a lot more sense for you.
We're going to be trading Man United against Man City. We're going to trade the correct score market. So you can see Man City are favourites for this one. And looking at this correct score market, it's, well, bit of a jungle. So anyway, we're going to turn to the football trading genie. We're going to turn to AI to give us a target score formula for this one. Let's see what it can build out. It's going to obviously crunch all the numbers, all the recent statistics, all the goal timings to give us an idea. And it's going for a pretty high scoring one. 1-2, 0-2, 1-1, 1-3, and 2-3. So that's interesting. And I mean we've seen this recently with it throwing out these 3-2 score lines. And there was a couple of trades where I said I prefer 2-2 instead of 2-3. Possibly I might do that again. Let me have a look. Let me have a look at the market and get set up. So we're all set up, and I did do it. I went slightly against the genie on this one. I went for the 2-2 instead of the 2-3. Now, obviously, you still have the opportunity. Maybe I could have covered 2-2 and 2-3, but I wanted to have a good amount of green on both of them, so it was making it a little bit tricky to do that. And we want to try and keep the trade simple. But anyway, look, I've covered the scores. The 0-2, the 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 2-2. It's all swinging in favour of Manchester City. Didn't cover the 2-3, even though it's a pretty nice price on it, but I just feel if we're going to get to the 2-3, potentially we will be maybe on a 2-2 or on a 3-1 first, and we could trade from that point and then put the green on the 2-3. Okay, look, maybe I'm overcomplicating it. Maybe we should just dive into the match and you can see it for yourself. So it's Man United against Man City, just about to kick off. So at half time, it's Man United 0, Man City 0. So a bit of a slow burner, and we're going to need 2 goals in the second half to hit any of our target scores. So we're going to start to deploy a bit of a plan B, which is potentially a damage limitation. So we're going to lay off we're going to go full liability against the 0-0, but we're going to put in an order at 4. So it's like placing a lay order in the future. That should get taken maybe around the 55th, 60th minute. And once that's taken, if we get the goal after that, our overall liability on this trade is much, much lower. And just 1 goal will make all the difference, okay? So as said, with correct score trading, we often don't enter with our full stake. We enter with maybe half of our stake or 60% or something like that. And then you only deploy it in situations like this that call for it. But anyway, here we are, 0-0 at half time. We've got the lay order in the market. Let's see what the second half brings. The deadlock has been broken in this one. Man United 1, Man City 0, which is a bit of a surprise. So anyway, what we can do, we're on the 1-0. We've obviously lowered our risk on this one. We've got green on 1-1. We've got nothing on the 2-0. And look, with the underdog winning, this is definitely one of those times where we can be aggressive and then we can go in again. Okay, full liability on this 0-1 score. So let me just adjust it. We don't want to get our liability higher than 200. And yeah, we could just get that in. So we're going to go full liability on this. Now, the good news is that if Man United score again, this goes down to just a mere £1 loss on this. The 1-1 now, which was one of our target scores, the profit's been bumped up to 175. So the next goal means everything in this match. Let's see what happens. It's Man United 1, Man City 0. We just had another goal in this one. It's 2-0. 2-0 to Man United, and we are, well, our decision to go full liability against that 1-0 has been absolutely vindicated. 2-0 to Man United means that we're now just looking at just a mere £1 loss on this, should it remain 2-0. We've still got 2-2 alive, and maybe my decision to go for that 2-2 could still look like a good decision in hindsight. But as it stands, this is, yeah, it's going to be pretty much a break-even trade, but still a good example of what can happen when we're trading the correct score market. As said, we're going to have our target score formula to enter the market, and in this case, we've got it totally wrong. I've got it wrong. The football trading genie's got it wrong. Man United are going to win this, going to win it comfortably also. Or at least they are winning it comfortably so far, 78 minutes. But the great thing about trading the correct score market, we still managed to get out of this without taking any sort of loss, or maybe just taking the £1 loss. But I'll accept that when we get it completely wrong like we have in this. Anyway, there's still time on the clock. Let's see what happens. Man United 2, Man City 0. Deep in injury time. There's just been another goal in this one, and it does look, I do believe, pending a VAR check, but it's going to be Man United 3, Man City 0. So, yeah, we were way off. We were absolutely way off. And just looking at the XG for this game, it's an absolutely dominant performance from Man United. And this price on 3-0 to Man United was up at 120 at one point, just at half time. So anyway, yeah, well, actually, no, it's gone back to being 2-0. So that was chalked off. Okay, all right. Anyway, look, it doesn't really matter, does it? We're not going to be making a profit on this one, but we're not going to be taking a loss. Okay, let's have a look at the 2-0. And just see what that score was at the start. So it was priced at around 40. So yeah, very interesting match. In the end, it's going to be a break even for us, but as I said earlier on, it's a very good example of how you can trade the correct score market. You can pick out your target scores and you can get it completely wrong like we have, and still end up just breaking even or just taking a mere £1 loss for those who want to nitpick. So anyway, this match is done. It's Man United 2, Man City 0. I'm pretty sure that's the score. So here we are, Arsenal versus Brentford from the Premier League. Obviously expecting an Arsenal win, but let's see what the genie's coming up with this one for the target score formula. And you can see here 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. So expecting an Arsenal win, maybe not hitting 3-0. And the plan B is a 1-1, which is about right. I mean, if you can't really see Arsenal losing this. And if they are going to drop points, probably a 1-1, isn't it? So anyway, that's the plan B. Let's head over to the market and let me show you the correct score market here. We're all set up. I've covered the score lines that were suggested. I've Dutched the score lines here, okay? So a £100 stake is going to give us an even green of £80 on every outcome, apart from the 2-1 apparently. But anyway, doesn't matter. Let's see what happens in play. It's Arsenal against Brentford from the Premier League. So half time, it's Arsenal 1, Brentford 0. It's going according to plan, but we're looking at the XG numbers that have been plugged in. Arsenal winning. It's not too convincing though, surprisingly, and current projected match result is a draw. We don't have any goals overdue just yet, but let me just show you. We're on a green scoreline at the moment, so we could use a bit of that green and just put this down to 0, just to lay off some of the risk. The next goal, it puts us on a green scoreline regardless. Okay, so let's just put this in. We'll put the 1-0 down to 0. Next goal, whether it's a 1-1 or a 2-0, potentially at that point we might have to exit out of the market, especially if it is a 2-0. But anyway, that's the action we're going to take. Arsenal 1, Brentford 0 at half-time. Let's see what happens in the second half. 91 minutes on the clock. Arsenal have just doubled the lead. Saka has just, well, I say he's put the ball in the net. I mean, the ball's just barely crossed the line. But anyway, the goal counts. So that puts us on 2-0. We don't have any further green on a 3-0. So this would be the time to just take the profits. And there's, what, 6 minutes added on. So you could go in with just some sort of further lay on this, not sacrificing too much of your green. And if there's a bonus goal later on, maybe Arsenal get a third or something that puts you in a nice position. But overall, we're going to make a nice return on this one. 2-0 Arsenal, £73 on the 2-0 score, and it's kind of played out exactly as everything was forecast. Let's look at the XG data. And so just updated the XG here. I didn't update the correct score. So Arsenal were overdue a goal for a while. It's a comfortable home win. Now we put the 2-0 in, and now we are exactly where the XG forecasts us to be with the home win. And there's not really any further action we should take on this one. And so we go back to the market, and we're pretty much where everything should be. Okay, we got the pre-match forecast, cover the 2-0 score. We also covered that 1-0. So even if Saka didn't score just then we wouldn't be taking any loss on this one. And everything has played out exactly as predicted. So Arsenal 2, Brentford 0. We're out with a profit, but most importantly, you've seen how we're using the AI combined with the XG to make the data-driven trades. We're out. Arsenal 2, Brentford 0.
So hopefully you're getting more of an idea of the whole concept of incorporating plan A and plan B into your target formula structure. The Arsenal example, one of those matches where, you know, we didn't need the plan B. It was smooth sailing. We just followed the data. But again, a good example, not having to watch the match, not having to sweat it or work out just how good each team is. We could just follow the data and trade accordingly. The Man United match, a good example of needing that plan B and having to trade our way out of trouble in that particular match because we got that way wrong, didn't we? And that will happen. As said, football is inconveniently unpredictable for us as football traders. But anyway, if you're interested in implementing AI into your own football trading, then the tool we're using is the Football Trading Genie. And if you want to get a full demo of it or further info, click the link in the description or scan that QR code that is on the screen right now. So get your phone out, scan it, and there should be a full demo available or more, okay? Depending on the availability, you might be able to get your hands on it and start trading with the Genie today. Okay, scan the QR code, click that link that is in the description of the video. Anyway, let's dive in. We got more live trading examples from the Betfair exchange.
We're going to be trading Tottenham versus West Ham from the Premier League, and we're going to be trading the correct score market, and we're going to be using AI to basically give us the target score formula. And we've got to be quick. It's just about to kick off. in this one. So let's have a look. It's going to give us, crunch all the numbers, and it's giving us 2-1, 2-0, 3-1, 1-1, and 0-1 in favour of Tottenham, obviously. Anyway, let me head over and get set up. So we got set up in a nick of time. It's literally just kicked off. So anyway, look, 1-1, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1 covered, and then that 0-1 in favour of West Ham as our plan B scenario. So anyway, let's see what happens. As you can see, just kicked off. We'll give you more updates as this one develops. Half time, it's Tottenham 0, West Ham 1. So the 1-0 to West Ham is part of our plan B, and we're actually on that score at half time. So that is good news. That is good news. Obviously, the bad news is we've favoured Tottenham. We've obviously now lost our 2-0 score, but we're on this 0-1, and we've got this as part of the plan B. So what we can do, we can leverage this green and pretty much look to move our liability. So I'm going to look to move the liability onto that 1-0, onto that 1-0 score. So we can, remember, we've got a £100 liability in the market, and I might have to move it up a bit higher. The prices are drifting. We just want to get this done on this clip. All right, let's put it in. We'll put it in there. So anyway, yes, the thinking is we're going to move our liability. We entered this trade with a £100 liability. We're not going to go full liability just yet. We will just move the liability on that 0-1 to West Ham. So worst case scenario now is a 1-0 win to West Ham. Any goal, if it's to West Ham, we get our overall loss down to £34 on this trade, and we just say goodnight to it, really, because obviously we've called it drastically wrong. But if we get back on the 1-1, we're back in business, because also we have the 2-1, and the 1-1 is green also. So that's what we're looking for here. Oh yeah, we've also got the 3-1. Forgot about that. So if we do get back on the 1-1, that's our most ideal scenario. That's where we're going to probably start to look to make a profit. But if it does go 2-0 West Ham, we've minimised our loss. Let's see what happens in the second half. Tottenham 0, West Ham 1. 64 minutes and we're back on track. It's Tottenham 1, West Ham 1. We're on the green 1-1 scoreline. So do remember, we moved our liability onto that 0-1. We're now on the 1-1 score. And so I mean, look, just to show you, we could take a profit. I mean, what's going on here? Possible red card. Anyway, hopefully it comes back shortly, but yes, when it does come back, it will show you there is a profit of around £74 that we could potentially lock in on this. But remember, we still got 2-1 and 3-1 covered in favour of Tottenham. So I'm not sure what happened there. Was it a red card? Anyway, I don't know. Look, so yeah, look, we've got £34 of liability in the market. Let's try and take that out, and let me quickly see what the price should be. Okay, so 2.8. We'll put in a lay order of 2.8. Get rid of that £34 of risk, and then just leave some green on that 1-1 if it does remain a 1-1 deadlock. But as you can see, if we can aim for the 2-1 to Tottenham, the 3-1 to Tottenham. So anyway, that lay order's in. Obviously, you can see the markets are bouncing around, and there's all sorts going on. Still no news on whether that was a red card or what was going on there. But anyway, all right, that's taken. So now you can see it clearly. All the risk is out of the market. It's £72 of green on the 1-1, 192 on the 2-1, 320 on the 3-1. So you can see we can ladder up pretty nicely if Tottenham can pull this off. Okay, if West Ham score, then we're going to be break even. But the important thing is we're not going to take a loss on this one. Tottenham 1, West Ham 1. You're not going to believe this. We've just had another goal. We've had a goal deep into injury time, and the goal has gone. It's gone to West Ham. If we just look at the match odds market, it hasn't yet updated on the Betfair interface, which is pretty typical. But this goal has gone to West Ham. It looks like they have won it very, very late. Now, that is obviously not very good news for our correct score trade. Now, we were, and I was expecting to come on here and say, well, yeah, 1-1 final score, but at least we've made the £72 of profit. When I did hear the goal notification, I did think, well, there you go. We've landed a much bigger profit on the 2-1 to Tottenham. But it's gone to West Ham, which puts us in a break-even situation. So we've gone from making a profit in this one to making absolutely nothing. So You might look at that and some people might say, well, that's not very good. It's not very good trading, is it? Well, I still believe we were making the right decision, leaving it on the 1-1, going in favour of the Tottenham win. The most important thing being that we didn't actually take a loss on it. So it's not like we were risking money to try and make this profit on the 2-1 target score. And do keep in mind, remember, we've entered the match 2-1, 3-1, 1-1. These are our target scores. And there wasn't really any reason to pivot. West Ham, it's a smash and grab. That's football. The most important thing is we protected our downside and we will break even. We won't take any loss on this one. And just another thing to point out, the cash out is offering you to lock in a -£2, which doesn't make sense at all. We're going to break even on this. As said, absolute smash and grab. Tottenham 1, West Ham 2. Getting very close to kickoff on this one. Early evening kickoff, Stuttgart against Frankfurt. Plug this into the football trading genie and you can see the target score formula that it's coming up with after looking at all the recent correct scores from both the teams. And some interesting ones here. 2-1, 2-0, 1-1, but then also a 3-1 and a 3-2, which is interesting. Let me show you how we've set that up. So I've gone with split staking on this one rather than Dutching it. Now it's definitely interesting, partly because I think if I was picking out these scores, I'll probably skip the 1-1 and go for a 2-2. If I'm going to have a 3-2, I probably would want a 2-2 covered more than the 1-1. But anyway, we're obviously trying out the football trading genie, so we're not quite going to go with my overall on this one. But it will be interesting to see how it plays out. Stuttgart against Frankfurt just about to kick off. We'll give you more updates in play. Just reached half time. It's Stuttgart 2, Frankfurt 1. So a goal-filled first half, which isn't actually what we ideally want when you're trading a correct score market. You don't typically want 3 goals in the first half. It can make things quite tricky, depending on the scores you've backed, obviously. Now you can see we're in a positive position actually. So look, we're on the 2-1, which is a green score. We've obviously lost 1-1. We've lost the 2-0. So we're now remaining with the 2-1, 3-1, and 3-2. So this is good. The price to lay off the 2-1, 7.2, not too good. So if we do get another goal early in that second half, and especially if that goal was to make it 2-2, then we're in a bit of a world of trouble with this particular trade. And when you're trading the correct score market, it's kind of like a chess match. You always have to think 1 or 2 goals ahead. So you've got to think, if there is a goal right now, does that put us in a better position? It won't, and I'll show you why. Because this price on the 2-1, which is currently 6.8, 3-1 is going to go up from 5.2 up to 6.8, so that's not good. And potentially the 2-2, which is currently 3-2, we've got a 7.6, 2-2's there at 9.8. That's going to go up also. Okay, any goal. So a goal very soon isn't great. Now if we do get a goal late on to make it 3-1, that's much better. But we do have to consider what could happen in the opening stages of the second half. So I did try and look at the XG to try and see if that can give us any more clues on what we should potentially do next. But it's not looking great. It's the match is outperforming the XG, but the current projected match result is a draw. We don't have that 2-2 covered, and I did say that right at the start of the trade that I probably, if it was me picking out these correct scores, I probably would have covered the 2-2 more than the 1-1. Okay, I'm not blaming the genie for anything because obviously none of us can predict the future. But I do believe the writing's on the wall for this trade. We should just collect the profit and move on. There's way too many questions and we're just going to make life hard for ourselves by trying to stay in. Okay, so no shame in taking a profit. Not quite the type of profit we're looking for, but we're backed into the corner a little bit and we'll just collect the £32 of profit. But anyway, I mean, the football trading genie, it's led us down the correct path. It's led us down the correct angle. It did say to back these higher scores. Just a bit of a tricky one with the timing of it. Also, like I said, I do think 2-2 being covered would have been better than 1-1. And of course, don't get me wrong, we still had the option to cover the 2-2 instead of the 1-1 and overrule the genie. You can of course do that. But anyway, no real regrets on this one. We're going to walk away with a £32 profit and we will look for a better match to trade after this. So we're going to be using AI to help us trade this match with Coventry against Leicester from the English Championship, and we're going to be using AI to help us trade the correct score market on this one. So a bit of a jungle, and we want the AI to pick out a nice target score formula for this match. So we just go to the football trading genie, click on the correct score trading prompt, and we're going to get a good idea now of what the target score formula is going to be. And so yeah, in favour of Coventry. No huge surprise. Coventry obviously odds-on favourites for this one. So 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 1-1, and then a 0-1. So it's incorporating a plan A and a plan B. So anyway, let's get set up. So we're all set up now, and I've gone for the scores that we suggested, and I've decided to Dutch it. So we're Dutching it for an even amount of green on each of these scores, and obviously we will be trading during the match. Just to be clear, for anyone who's new, this is trading. We're not just having a straight bet on these. We're going to be trading off these scores, and we obviously can potentially make a profit even if we don't hit our target scores. That's the point of trading. Anyway, let's see what happens. Coventry against Leicester just about to kick off. So half time here, it's Coventry 0, Leicester 1. So covering the 0-1 to Leicester as part of our plan B is looking like this is going to help us out. So obviously we're on this 1-0 to Leicester. We are now looking at a scenario of it potentially, best case, going to 1-1 and then a 2-1 to Coventry. We obviously don't have 0-2 covered, 0-3. So this match is going to be potentially going against us unless we're going to start to be aggressive and take some action against it. So anyway, look, we've got £100 worth of liability in the market, but we're going to move that £100 of liability onto just the 1-0. And by doing that, you will see that it will lower the overall liability should our worst case scenario of the 2-0 Leicester transpire, but also puts more green on our most likely case scenario of the match going to 1-1 in the second half. So anyway, this is the move to make. As mentioned with target score formulas, you've got your plan A, you've got your plan B. We are in plan B mode right now, which is often damage limitation. But anyway, we've still got some upside. Let's see what happens. Coventry 0, Leicester 1 at half-time. 49 minutes, as expected, Coventry have equalised. It's Coventry 1, Leicester 1. So remember, we moved our liability onto the 0-1. We're now on the 1-1, which gives us some green to play with. And we're going to position ourselves to try and go for Coventry to go 2-1 ahead. And we're going to lay off this 1-0 down to 0, or down to close to 0, okay? And the main reason for that, if Leicester do score again, it's going to make our loss pretty minimal, £29 loss, but it's going to put more green on that target score. Our target score is the 2-1, and ideally, if we're going to hit that 2-1, I'd like to hit it late on. But anyway, let's see what happens. It's Coventry 1, Leicester 1, and hold on. Let's just move this up so this is taken, just so everyone. Okay, that's taken now. Okay, there you go. Okay, that's our position. Worst case scenario is pretty much that £29 loss, and we got more green on the 2-1. Let's see if we can try and hit it. It's Coventry 1, Leicester 1. 85 minutes on the clock. Coventry just taking the lead. Coventry 2, Leicester 1. That's our final target score. We don't have any more target scores after that, so it is time to collect the profits, and it's also fairly late in the match, and we will get that locked in. So that's going to be locked in. Just press it again just to even things out. But anyway, you saw how this match played out, and once again, hats off to the AI with the with the target score formula that it gave us, because it did give us the 1-0 to Leicester as part of the plan B, and we had to use that plan B at half time. We got the equaliser very, very quickly. We were on that 1-1. And then we put all the profits on our new target score of the 2-1, and we've been rewarded late on with this, what looks like to be a winning goal for Coventry. So very nice trade, very textbook, no real drama. £119 locked in. Nice trade. Coventry 2, Leicester 1.
So a good batch of examples to really highlight the importance of having a plan A and plan B in your target score formula. The West Ham Tottenham game being a big example of that. I mean, obviously we made nothing on that, but we did get it wrong. Our plan B was at one point, that 1-0 to West Ham, that came in useful. And then we traded our way out of it to the point where, yeah, we just ended up breaking even on it. We obviously called it wrong. West Ham winning that match, for example. But the Coventry-Leicester example, if you want to roll the tape back and check it out again, was a very good example of the plan B actually helping to boost our profits, because obviously we had the 1-0 at half-time to Leicester, which we traded out. It allowed us to put more green on the green scores, and then we hit that 2-1 nicely, and we couldn't really have done it without the plan B. So some very good examples for you to check out there of incorporating the plan A and the plan B, and it's highly recommended that you want to start getting AI implemented into your football trading. And this is the tool we're using at the moment. It's the Football Trading Genie, and if you want to get a demo of it, scan the QR code that is on the screen. You can click the link. There are some links in the description of this video which will have much more information. As I said, you could probably get a full demo of this. If it's available, then grab it, because it's not going to be available all the time. And it is basically your own AI-powered football trading assistant. Great bit of kit, priceless as a time saver, and it's brilliant for correct score trading, especially right up my street. So anyway, as said, scan the QR code for more info, or there are links for you to check out in the description of this video. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed checking out this video. We do have more videos for you to check out. There is a video on the screen and it's about to go. So click it very, very quickly. Go grab another nice cold beer, and then I'll see you in the next video.